Sometimes the quiet is enough. No external sounds needed, just your thoughts and silence. But when I want to fill that void, I almost always turn to one thing. Music. Merriam-Webster defines music as the science or art of ordering tones or sounds in succession, in combination and in temporal relationships to produce a composition having unity and continuity. But that's just scratching the surface. For me, music dives so much deeper than just how it's formatted. Listening to music can bring out a variety of emotions depending on the theme. Music is a way of life. It's in concerts, stores, and restaurants. It's even some people's whole careers. Music can be everywhere in your life. Everything can have its own theme depending on the mood. Speaking of, I listen to music nearly all the time, whether it's when I'm sitting in the car, sleeping, or playing a game, which has a very special place in my heart and is part of what inspired me to make this video. Video game music is simply amazing, and there is truly no other way for me to describe how much I love it. I've heard so many genres from the games I've played, and I'm always happy to share the music I like with people. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
Lucas, there's something ahead. I see it. What the hell?
A Plague Tale takes place in the 14th century in Guyenne, France, and the soundtrack for both of those games is phenomenal, using, and I quote, medieval French instrumentation in a dark, grim atmosphere. It blends haunting cellos, medieval bagpipes, analog synthesizers, and chamber choirs to invoke themes of sorrow, innocence, and rage. It really does a good job at backdropping the general theme of the game and intensifying the chase sequences when running from the rats, the fights against armed soldiers, and the stealth. The music is dynamic too, and will increase in intensity the closer enemies are to you in stealth, or whether the soldiers see you in combat. The geniuses behind the game's soundtrack had the Estonian Philharmonic Chamber Choir help produce a lot of the songs. Their a cappella performance, which is something I really love about this game, was instrumental in creating the atmosphere. I don't own a lot of games that aren't set in the modern day, so this series was a fantastic change of pace for me. While on the other hand, you have games like Mirror's Edge that carry a completely different tone about freedom and rebellion, despite the oppressive nature of the game's setting. Both games are set in the future to near future, and the music is fantastic. It's actually one of my favorite soundtracks to this day, as of writing the script. Hearing the song Kate while fleeing from pursuit cops is awesome, and provides a tense scenario, knowing if you slow down even a bit, they'll get tased. When it comes to the views in Catalyst, nothing can compete. I mean, just looking at these sites makes me want to live there. In my opinion, I'd say these games aged very, very well, and I pray that one day we get a third installment. While we're on the topic of views, Dying Light is not only a graphically impressive series, it also provides a wonderful soundtrack for the Outbreak. The first game is often seen as the scariest out of the currently available, with just the volatile chase music alone being enough to strike fear into the majority of the game's player base, including me. Running through the dark at night with multiple zombies on your back, following it at approximately 15 to 30 miles per hour would probably terrify anyone playing the game for the first time. And believe me when I say I've had my fair share of scares when it comes to this game. The second game is not nearly as scary as the first one, but it still does a good job at giving the player an inspiring OST. I'm a big fan of Olivier de Riviere's work, at least that's how you pronounce it, I think. And I think he hit it off with this one. I mean, just listen to this. But when it comes to feeling like a badass, That goes way beyond just shredding through zombies. Games like Yakuza are especially made for that. The Yakuza series is one of those franchises that has one or more specific scenes that have become so iconic. And that's what makes those parts that much better, knowing you got to experience them for yourself. There are way too many for me to list here, but at any rate, we're here to talk about the music. And it absolutely slaps. No matter who you play as or what the story is about, whether it's a detective trying to win an impossible court case, a legend simply protecting the ones he loves, or even a family patriarch amnesiac turned modern day pirate captain, it does not matter. Most songs outclass the rest. Out of all the songs from games that are in my liked on Spotify, the majority of them I'm sure is from Yakuza.
The test from Falling Vicious Foot.
Your choices didn't really matter in that series. But that isn't the case for Life is Strange. That solely depends on the decisions made by you, the player. While I can't say much about the first game's soundtrack, there's still credit where credit is due and its desire to not go too hard with the OST like some other games. I can very much appreciate the nostalgic yearning theme. It feels melancholy in a way, with one of the main focuses being about friendship and grief. One of the songs, Obstacles by Sid Meier's, is probably one of the best nostalgic songs I've ever heard. According to a forum post, it explores the transition from the carefree days of childhood into the complex, challenging realities of adulthood. It focuses on the inevitability of facing life's hardships, the bittersweet nature of memories, and the desire to hold on to innocence and friendship despite growing up. I also heard the song used in a facility map from Pixelkin 3D, so, that was pretty cool. But we shouldn't talk about cool until we mention Cyberpunk 2077. No, not just for its disastrous 2020 December launch, but for its soundtrack and general aesthetic, setting an incredibly high bar for cyberpunk styles and vertical urban design. It's also recognized for having an emotionally charged story about being on a time crunch, sharing a body with Johnny Silverhand, played by Keanu Reeves. Man, there's just so much I want to say about this game, but I've already made this video too much like a game review, so anyways, the music. It's perfect for the futuristic setting. Each of the 10 main factions have their own combat theme. Some aren't as good as others, but still a great attention to detail nonetheless. I've even went out of my way to look up a few songs from the radio stations. They're that good, and yes, this includes the song we're all thinking of. The game's soundtrack uses a mix of industrial, techno, IDM, and punk, which is heavily influenced by 90s attitudes rather than just 80s synthwave. According to a quick Google search, key elements include aggressive electronic beats, distorted synth, and occasional natural instruments, like the cello, for emotional songs. There are so many more games that contain incredible soundtracks that I wish I could have talked about, but this video would have probably been hours long in that case. I've tried to do this by music, genre, and atmosphere. Hopefully it turns out well. This is my first time doing one of these videos with a script and everything, but I've been needing to unrush my editing skills anyway, so I'm kinda glad I went through with this, even if it was a chore. At the time I'm making this, my sleep schedule is a bit messed up, so I'm kinda at 1 HP trying to read out a script for the first time. Anyways, music is something I don't think I could live without. It feels like as though it's a part of me, and that if I lost it, I wouldn't be whole anymore. It's something that has always managed to keep me grounded during rough patches in my life, which is one of the many reasons why I love music. And you should too.
Oh, shoot!
Now, can't believe I managed to do that all in one take without stuttering one time. Awesome.